Welcome to the Other Dads podcast. Two first-time fathers trying not to screw this up.
Welcome back to the Other Dads podcast. This is episode 7.
Wow.
Wow, can't believe we made it this far. I mean, the over-under was probably 3.
There's been some talk on the pod about 18 years, but I didn't know if we'd get here.
You got to celebrate the small wins and take it day by day.
Yeah, is it like podcasts like marriages? They always say if you get past 7, you're fine.
Oh, I think it's kind of like it's like sports. It's what's the equivalent of winning the championship? I mean, the goal was 18 years, but if we've made it this far, do we consider this a success?
How is that like sports? Oh, I don't understand. Oh, you mean like
Was
making it to the conference finals?
Yeah, like was this season so far a success?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we've got a
I think
ton of subscribers. That's a good reminder. Tell your friends, subscribe, like, share. We need the love.
And we're on Twitter now. We're on the X.
Yeah, at the Other Dads. You can find us there. We got a social media director, RB. You've heard him before. He's leading the charge.
Our first employee. We are doing a pause on hiring.
Yeah.
You can still submit application. We'd like to see resumes, see what kind of talent we got out there.
Yeah, we got flooded at the resume bank was flooded with the people who were wanting to get in. We pay $0 and we have no benefits. And man, RB was chomping at the bit.
All right, let's get into what we got this week on episode 7, Christian. We're gonna start with just some takeaways, some final thoughts from our interview with Zach last week. Hope everybody enjoyed listening to that. We just had a couple things we wanted to add.
Yeah, let us know if y'all like that kind of material as well. And if you want to hear more of it, tweet at us, text us, and we'll do our best to get some more folks on if you like that.
I've got a business idea I want to run past you. Christian's got some stories and some breastfeeding talk after 2.5 weeks now, I think.
Yep.
And then we'll get into some segments. We got Dr. Rick, parenting we saw, what the book said, and of course, did you see the fellas? But first, we have got a game to pick. Not just any game. This is a big one.
Oh yeah. This is about as big as it gets.
A lot of people watching from home, tuning in.
Yeah, there might be this might be the least watched televised game in person I've seen. The stands are empty. In Charlotte, we get the Charlotte Hornets. I think what's after the G League? Is it like the H League?
I think this is like tryouts for the G League.
Yeah. This is a part of Summer League. So this is guys undrafted, maybe some rookies, maybe some guys who are playing overseas, going against the Chinese national team. And we joined a little late, but when we first joined on the call getting prepped, the score was 2-18, and the Hornets weren't losing. So it's a blowout in Charlotte.
I find it hard to believe this could be their national team.
Yeah, is this like their summer league team for their national league team?
It's got to be like a under 18. There's no way that this is who they're sending to Paris.
I don't know. To be honest, if this is the team they're sending to Paris, I don't think they got invited to Paris.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that because if Luka and Sylvania didn't make it, there's no way this team can make it.
Yeah, this team is definitely not going. If this is the team.
All right, but the score is 26-12 right now in the second quarter.
A bit of a comeback for China.
Yeah, they cut it to 14. It was 18, I think. But this is another big coin flip. The coin flips are kind of determining the outcomes here.
Which isn't fair to me.
You know, Christian's upset because tails always fails, and he's going tails.
Yeah, I won't waver. It's kind of a sunk cost at this point for those economists out there.
All right, let's do it here.
Oh baby.
Oh wait,
no, dang it. I don't know why I always think the heads is the tails. It's just not.
That's heads, and I will take my Charlotte Hornets. Buzz.
Well, watch out. Team China's got an ace in the hole. I don't know where they are, but they're going to come in the second half.
I'll tell you who the ace in the hole is for China. I don't know if you've seen some videos on on social media, maybe on the X, but they've got I think it's the women's team. They've got a girl that I think is 7'4".
Does she play in the WNBA?
Nope. I think she's like 16, so
Oh, wow.
very raw, but she is very tall compared to her competitors. All right, Christian, what are you drinking?
Yeah, great question. For the listeners out there, I wanted to say I have been starting each pod with a good old glass of pickle juice to get the energy up. So if you could tell, my energy's been perked up. That's why. Um, but
Is that what pickle juice does?
well, okay. So I was
Is it the
hoping
new
you'd ask. They sell
is
this
it the
thing.
new energy drink?
They sell this thing called pickle juice at the grocery store. Okay, and I saw it. I was like, oh, well, I wonder what this is. So I bought it. I went home. I
Wait,
drank
wait,
it.
wait, wait,
It
wait, wait.
was pickle juice. That's it.
You saw pickle juice and thought, "Wow, what could this be?"
No, it's okay. It's called pickle juice, and it's got like lightning bolts on the bottle. You're like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool." It's like near the Gatorade. You're thinking to yourself, "This is like gonna have electrolytes or just like pickle. It's gonna be pickle flavored," you know? No, I got home. It's literally pickle juice, just with a cool label, and I felt like I was, swindled. So now I just bought pickle juice, a jar of pickles. I just drink that. But yeah, it's a thing. It's like a thing for marathon runners to drink pickle juice.
I I love that you think you're getting swindled for buying pickle juice and it ended up being pickle juice. Like, are you
No,
gonna
no, no,
send a
no, no.
letter?
That's not what swindled me. The cost is what swindles me.
The cost?
Yeah, you're paying for a little thing of pickle juice and it's like $4 when you could just buy pickles for $3.
Yeah, but then you gotta get the pickles out, and then what? It's probably not the same.
No, it's the same. I've had it. You
It's not the
you
same
eat
formula.
even you don't get it out, you eat the pickle.
That's a lot of work, though. You're not. People want pickle juice without all the work.
Yeah, it's crazy that they do this. But so
Is
yeah,
it helping? Is it helping with the low testosterone?
I don't think I'm struggling with it, man. No, I think I'm okay on that. But yeah, no, my drink of choice, enough pickle juice chatter. Another DC Brow, Hazy Indian Pale Ale. These have been good. I'm ready to finish them off, but I'll probably be back at it next week.
Okay, I've got a
Josh,
new
what
one
about you?
for us. I got a new one. I've got a Blue Moon non-alcoholic,
Awesome.
which might not be true because it says. I'll show you on the camera. It says non-alcoholic,
Yep.
but on the box it says less than 0.5.
Yeah, it's weird. I noticed that too. What's that one brand? People love it. Uh,
Athletic.
yeah, Athletic Brewing. You can buy it like on Amazon and stuff because it's like not alcoholic enough. But I was like, oh, Angela, you can have this, Lady A, and when she was pregnant, but it says less than 0.5, so that's not zero. That's so she never had it.
Oh God, this is horrible. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
terrible.
Blue Moon non-alcoholic out there. We
Oh
hate him.
boy. It's missing something for sure. But yeah, less than 0.5. So hopefully my words don't get slurred.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, well the reason I went to this is let's just say the golden hour body uh took a hit this past week on vacation. I don't know what I weigh, but it's definitely a lot more than when I went into it.
Your beach
Uh,
bod slowly deteriorated over the week.
Beach bod was never stood a chance. I think I consumed probably about 50 Tootsie Rolls, 8 Star Crunches,
That
probably
wasn't
about
what
20 cookies, 3 of the, what are those ice cream cone sandwiches? What are those called?
the drumsticks?
Yep, I had 3 of those.
Those are good.
We went out for ice cream. We had a gym, available. I did not attend once. I kinda assumed being in the waves and, just trying to get out to the water, making the hike through the waves was burning enough calories,
Yeah.
and I went for a couple walks, so, yeah, like I said, it's I lost a lot of ground in 1 week.
You should compare a picture of you day 1 on vacation to the last day of vacation and just see the progress fade.
Yeah, it was kinda like the freshman 35, but even faster.
Yeah, you know how to put on weight with the best of them.
Yep, not in a good way, but yeah.
Well, Josh, those Star Crunches weren't doing your, body any help for the golden hour challenge, but I believe in you. You've got time. As I've always said, a couple of days is all you need to feel good and look good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Real quick, wanted to follow up with you on some thoughts about the interview last week, how you thought it went, and anything you took away. I know after we post the pods, we both listen to them and kind of text each other about them. So yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, my first thought was maybe we didn't do Zach enough justice as the most interesting man in the world, because, like we said last week, there was some stuff we had to cut just from a time standpoint. But there's a lot more to Zach than just Marines and becoming a labor delivery nurse. He's pretty much Christopher Columbus. He's sailed the ocean blue.
Yeah, the opposite direction. He sailed from America to Spain.
I think you touched on it at the end, but yeah, he did that. And then I think we touched on the Osprey, and I think you have a better understanding. I still don't know what that means. It sounded cool, but I just kind of.
Yeah, it's a helicopter that's also a plane, which kind of blows your mind to think about, but that's what it is. And
Hmm.
and he also worked for like Marine Special Operations. I think it's called MARSOC. After that, so like he's done it all. He's chasing what he wants to do. Really cool guy, um,
Hmm.
and a
Yeah,
faithful listener.
yeah, he is. And I listened. I listened on the way back from the beach to the interview with Lady G, and when we finished the episode, she said, "Hey, can Zach just be our doula?"
Oh wow,
And so, Zach, if you're listening, the offer might be out there. I don't know what that would be like for him to
kind of a far drive.
a bit of a drive. We don't have an induction date at the moment.
Lodging
We
not
can
included. Can't do
we
it.
can provide no, we can provide housing.
Oh, okay, okay,
It'll
okay.
be a couch or an air mattress, your choice, and no price difference between the two options. Can promise some good home cooked meals from Lady G and free coffee. We have a Keurig, so um, yeah, the offer is out there. I'm sure he can get a couple weeks off just to come hang out with us and wait for the moment.
Couple of weeks. What the?
I mean, isn't that how it works? There's a window.
They just hang out for weeks at your house? No, that can't be a
No,
thing.
no, no, no. I'm saying because he's not local, but he's got to be nearby. We don't know when she's going to give birth.
I don't think. I mean, maybe it works like that. I mean, hopefully.
I don't think we could just say, "Hey, Zach, we're heading to the hospital. If you want to head on down," and then in 4 hours he gets there, it could be over.
I mean, that would be awesome if it was over in 4 hours. Like, I pray that's your experience, but from my
Don't,
experience, we had plenty of
don't,
time.
don't kill my dreams.
If you're for real, I can text him.
But yeah, good. No, I mean, it would be cool, but I don't think logistically it would really work.
all right, so all that was a farce.
No, but I was just, I mean, that spoke to how awesome Zach was and
Yeah, that is
how
cool.
knowledgeable he is, and I think Lady G is someone that isn't like I don't know what the word would be. I wouldn't see her like getting to that point after having like not even necessarily like met this guy or whatever. And so yeah, kudos to him that he made a good impression on her at least.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
yeah, maybe another day. I was thinking actually this is another business idea I had. If we just start our own doula business for male nurses and maybe they're focused on the dads.
Dad doulas?
Yeah, dad doulas.
That's just a guy to pal around with dad?
No, no, no. It's he's there specifically to um to be a resource for the dad, give tips, advice, but not step in, not make the dad feel like he's being replaced.
I feel like a regular doula could just probably incorporate that. You wanna hire 2 people?
Yeah, so any thoughts from you on the interview?
I mean, it's catchy, I'll tell you that, dad doula. Uh,
Yeah, I mean
maybe
it could
it's
stick.
maybe okay, this is it. It's not that they're in the room with you, but there's dad doula training, like, doulas training dads to
Mm,
be good
I
in the
like
room.
that. I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a 6-week program. First week is free. Um
What, 6 weeks?
it's only one it's only one day of each week though.
So 6 days, okay. 6
6 days,
days.
6 weeks. It's 6 days, 6 weeks. There's a referral program. So if you refer a fellow dad, you get 22% off. Um, And there's gonna be one session that's in person.
Yep. This is dad, uh, dad doulas
Dad
in training.
that doesn't have a ring to it.
Training dad doulas.
I'm thinking daddy doula daycare. No,
Oh, there it was.
daddy doula boot camp.
No, the 3 Ds was good, and it's a shout out to that wasn't that Ice-T that had that daddy daycare? There's like 3 of them. The movies.
Yeah, well, I know it for sure.
No, not Ice-T, Ice Cube. Sorry, I mixed up my ices.
You're thinking Ice Ice Baby.
No, no, definitely Ice Cube. Yeah, no, my thoughts on the interview with Zach, yeah, I just appreciated it. I thought it was the most informational thing we've done. Actually, people could take stuff away from there and learn. And we're gonna see if we can bring him on it to do maybe some birth plan simulator with Josh prior to
Yeah.
prior to his child's birth.
I think it's not really fair though that you would have a nurse or a doctor in your simulator. I had to do all 3 roles. Just a better actor, I guess, but
Maybe he can just feed me questions.
oh, that's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do them though. I'll act them out.
Okay, I like that. Man, this beer sucks.
Mine's good. I'm sorry about your experience. You should go back to Heineken Zeros, man.
Those were delicious. Heineken Zero. Still haven't had a Heineken, but
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say,
zeros would be
have
delicious.
you had a Heineken yet? I feel like you need to now. If you like the zero, you're
No.
gonna like the regular.
No, that's a great point. Now I have had normal Blue Moon, and those aren't bad, but this is just a travesty.
I wanted to. I had a few things I want to tell you about my week before we get into the kind of the main section of today's show. Will be about breastfeeding and my experience supporting Lady A so far. But I had like 3.
Nursing.
Yeah, nursing as we talked about that weird word. 3 things I want to tell you. I had a really cool bonding moment with JJ during bath time, and so that was great. I think the first bath couldn't have gone worse. He was miserable. He screamed top of his lungs, uh, and I definitely got some feedback from Lady A on that bath. I was not gentle. The water was too hot. The drain was draining while it was happening, and I kind of got water in his face. So could have gone worse. But the second bath I gave him.
Is the water not supposed to drain?
Okay, so all right, yeah. I mean, I didn't know we were gonna get the bath chatter, but quickly before the umbilical cord comes off, it's just a sponge bath, so they're not like in water. But once it comes off, you can have them sitting in the water, and so it's like a bath. You don't want the water to drain while you're bathing. Like the water was getting lower and lower, and I was getting less and less water to put on him as I was bathing him. That's not
Oh,
good.
okay, I see. I
Yeah.
see.
So that was really sweet. He was enjoying that and like very comfortable and holding my hand during that. So that was just a cool dad moment for me. And then I wanted to tell you, Josh, at his second appointment, the doctor was checking him out, and he said, his soft spots are looking great. And I said,
Hey!
do you mean his fontanelles?
No way.
Yes. And
No way.
he said, yes, that's right. Way to go, Dad.
Yeah.
And I almost said Fontanelli's, but I realized that wasn't correct. Yeah, I got some brownie points for some fontanelle chatter at the pediatrician's office.
Heck yeah. Look at me. You said we've only learned stuff from Zach. I taught you that.
That's right. Yep. You taught me everything I know about fontanelles. And you're right. There's
Mhm.
not like an abundance of fontanelles, or there's just 2. And you hope they're just okay.
And you said you said he has regular fontanelles.
Yep, that's right. He's got the perfect amount of fontanelles.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
all right, last thing before we get into breastfeeding was
Did you tell her about the pod?
I was a man, and, I did this is funny, I'm glad you asked that. I was like, "Yeah, we just talked about that on my pod," and he was like, "Oh, yeah?" And, like, didn't ask a question, and I was like, "Yeah, it's called The Other Dads, if you were curious," and he said, "Oh, I think I've heard of it." I was like, "Yeah, you're just trying to get me to shut up."
No, you definitely haven't.
How many dads have told you this? Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I think I've heard of it." It's like, "Okay." Alright, and this is just a funny, like, when you think you're doing good as a parent and you've got it figured out. We've been settled into a nice routine, each day, especially in the morning. Like, he sleeps 2 to 3 hours at a chunks at a time, and then we'd wake up, but around, like, whenever he woke up at I don't know, past 5 AM, feeding, that's when I stayed awake, and I would go exercise while mom and him went back to bed.
Mhm.
And so this morning, though, literally this morning, we were trying to do that, and I've been doing it consistently for 6 days. He, like, just won't go to sleep. He keeps feeding. He fed, like, 4 different times. And so then I'm bouncing him on the medicine ball for a while, and I'm like, "Man, I hope he goes to bed." I'm kinda looking forward to going to the gym, just kinda moving my body. It's really helpful for me to, like, stay active and stuff. So, um, he's, like, finally resting his eyes, and then projectile spit up. I mean, all over me, my shirt, my pants, the carpet. He doesn't spit up hardly at all and has never done projectile spit up. I was honestly impressed with the range that he had. But, like, he's just sitting there about to fall asleep, projectile spit up, gotta clean that, still not asleep. I mean, it was just this morning was totally not a routine kinda day, which is, I think, how it goes. Like, you do your best, but you gotta know that whatever the baby says goes, especially in this first, like, month or 2 before they eventually they start sleeping through the night and things of that nature, but until then, you're kinda at their whim.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man, spit up.
Just white goop. I don't know if goop is the right word. It's not thick like that. It's gross.
Hornets are up 22 now.
In case people were wondering, who's with us? Who's watching with us? So
Well,
those
that's
are
good.
just some three quick stories for me on some fun times with JJ and at the pediatrician office. But Josh, we're on a countdown here for you and Lady G. I mean, we're within a month of due date. No,
Yes. Yes, we are. We are within 28 days.
big time. She's full term now, 36 weeks. I think that's full term.
Yeah, full term, is, obviously something she is that, and, we're excited about that.
Josh, do you know what that means?
Eh Well, term is, you think terminal,
Yes.
meaning life is ending, and so
The place where the plane takes off.
that is yeah, that's a good way to think about it. The baby's about to lift off, and so we're at the full terminal point where at any point there could be a departure.
That's good. There we go.
How how would you put it?
I love how you problem solve live and you just go back to Latin roots, kinda like your postpartum comment.
I gotta be honest, I think I'm right. I know it sounded horrible, but I think the after party of birth makes a ton of sense. I wouldn't say it's a party, but
Yeah.
there's gotta be a connection between party and partum.
No, I don't think
Let's look it
so.
up. I'm gonna look it up. The Latin phrase postpartum comes from post, meaning after, and partum, which is the act of giving birth. All right. Well, that's kind of a party, though.
Yeah, sure. Uh, so, yeah, full term, are y'all, like I don't know, y'all feel like she's nowhere close? You is there, like do you have, like, gut feeling like, "Oh, man, it's coming?"
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away. We still got apparently 28 days left because just every time I see her stomach, I'm like so afraid. It's so big. It just looks like it's got to pop. I don't see how could there be another month of growth.
Yeah. Yeah, it does get that way.
Like it
You're like,
starts to almost like change colors a little bit.
"I don't know about that."
Right. It does. There's little like you can see kind of more like a purplish tint.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if this is right to those out there, but I think her skin is thinner? I don't know.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It makes sense in my head.
So I don't know. I mean, early on the baby was small and then it hit a growth spurt real quick. And I don't think we've gotten a great size update recently from the doctors. But based on my perspective from the outside, JJ might have some competition.
Oh, yeah?
Total guess. So this baby could come out really tiny, but
Bring it.
um,
JJ wants the challenge.
yeah, maybe we got two offensive tackles in our midst.
Yeah, speaking of weight, JJ passed the 10-pound threshold. He's already gaining weight post leaving of the hospital. Yeah, his last visit was great. 10 pounds, 6 ounces. So he's he's making some progress. I'm sad to hear that she's about like you feel like she can't get any bigger because she is. So sit back,
Mhm.
buckle up, and enjoy the ride. It's gonna be fun. She's gonna get less and less mobile, and need you more and more. So it's a fun. Those last like yeah, that last month is fun. A lot of put on the shoes. You already been painting the toenails though, so you're ready.
Christian, I did wanna tell you, I mentioned it to you some this week, but I got another business idea I came up with on vacation this week.
Let me hear it.
Yeah, so, some backstory on we left for the beach on Saturday. On Friday, my car window on the passenger front side made a loud pop and, basically just fell to the bottom and wouldn't go back up. Just had a good window down for a day and a half, and, so I took it to the mechanic, dropped it off, basically told him, "Hey, fix this. I'll be back in a week because 'cause I'm going on vacation, so, keep it running." Anyways, go to vacation, and, I get a call on, I think, Tuesday, about day 2 of vacation, and, we talked about it some last week. I'm not a car guy, and, they called me and gave me about 10 to 12 issues with my car, which I've got the receipt in front of me. It's 2 pages of items.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I love those
Um,
receipts.
so I basically called me. It's funny too. I was the guy that called me must have thought I was just an absolute idiot because I answered and he's like, "How you doing?" And I was like, "Living the dream, man. I'm at the beach." He's like, "Oh, all right. Well, have a good time." And just wanted to give you an update on the car. And he starts listing off everything that is wrong with it. Um, to give you a recap based on the receipt, we had rear brakes, brake pads, and brake rotors barely passing inspection. Needed to get those fixed. We did an oil change. We fixed the window motor. We got a brake fluid exchange. We got a fluid exchange for the cooling system. We got 2 new front tires. Um, and we also got spark plugs replaced as well as the air filter. So he's running through all that with me. Tells me the total price for that. It's a good bit of money, a good chunk of
Hold on, hold
change.
on, hold on. All this to replace the window? That doesn't seem necessary.
That's what I brought it in for, but I also had to get my state inspection. Um,
Okay, okay. So there's stuff
and
you said go ahead with that stuff anyway.
well, so he tells me all this, tells me the price. I basically told him, "Hey, let me talk to my agent, run this over with Lady G." We basically agree. I don't have any clue if anything he says is accurate or not,
No. Yeah,
and
never.
probably just best case to say, "Yeah, sounds good." He did talk to me about the tires, and I told him, "Yeah, yeah, I got the back ones exchanged a couple months back, and they told me about the front ones, so I did know those were a problem." Just to show my expertise a little bit there.
Yeah, let them know you're not a pushover. You knew that.
Yeah, exactly. I think yeah, I took a look at the spark plugs last week as well, and it looked like they needed a changing. So
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
good to go with that.
Leaky spark tube.
Leaky spark tube. Yeah, I can get my guy to do it, but he only does motorcycles. So yeah, long story short, there, I basically told him, "Go for it. You know, do everything you want to it. We'll have this baby running and purring." Um, and it got me thinking. I have no idea what to. There's nothing I could do in that situation to not get ripped off or fleeced, tricked. I mean, there's no way I could ever come back with like a. I don't know. The rotaries looked good to me, sir. I'm not sure what you were looking at. And so my idea there is it's the other dad's consulting. Essentially, we hire dads much smarter than us with expertise in common dad areas such as cars, maybe grilling, some handiwork around the house, and you just give them a call, and maybe they hop on like an agent. They could listen to that call and basically figure out, hey, maybe I'm getting ripped off here. What are some other options? Because you just trust the mechanic. But I mean, for them to make more money, they could just trick you. They could just swindle you.
The other dad's consulting. That's it. For grilling, what do you just show them the meat? They say stick the meat thermometer in there, and you say, and they say that's good.
But there's definitely some dads out there that, um, you know, there's some handyman or a guy that's really a
We
aficionado
we
on
just
the
give
grill.
dads a platform to be the dads they are.
Yeah, and it's good for people like me or, if you that sounded bad. Sounded like I didn't have a dad in my life. Uh, my dad was very much in the picture, but, just stuff that maybe your dad didn't teach you or maybe you didn't have a dad, and so you weren't taught a lot of things. Like, for me, my dad's not a car guy either. I don't know much about cars. So that's an opportunity for me where I'd like to have an expert on somebody I could call and make sure I'm getting a fair deal and not getting ripped off.
There you go. I like the idea. If you're a dad out there and you have an expertise, we will help elevate you to all of our followers.
Yeah, and common dad areas.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, there's no we're not gonna have dads on there doing non-dad stuff.
Yeah, we're not doing like, how to find a girlfriend. We're not doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's actually something dads are the worst at.
That's true. That's true.
Dads are the worst at setting you up ever. "What's wrong with
Mhm.
Tabitha down the street? She makes a great brownie."
That girl, yeah, that was a big one on vacation. Was like every girl we saw was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
man.
you should go talk to her, Dad. She's 14."
I I don't know how old you are in this memory, but she's 4
I'm a
Are you 15?
I'm no, I'm a college freshman.
Oh,
College
yeah.
freshman.
Yeah. No, I loved that on vacation because, like, does your dad want you to get into a long distance relationship? Like, what is the goal here? Like,
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
maybe just I guess, just some quick chatter,
Mhm.
practice some one-liners, like, what that's I never understood their goal. Like, I'm not trying to meet someone I'm here for 3 days.
Mhm.
I've thought about this one a lot.
Yeah, it isn't, I guess maybe that's why the dads like it because they know it's not gonna be something they have to worry about.
Oh, no, I mean, I used to get hounded on trips, like, "You never talk to anyone," you
Mhm.
know? It's like,
Mhm.
well, I do fine on my own, you know? Didn't ask me for this.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was my business idea, and that was a just, yeah, a humbling experience knowing I'm gonna be able to impart 0 wisdom to my child when it comes to car knowledge.
That's alright, they'll be fine. They're doing fine. You just say yes, you go to Jiffy Lube, and
Yeah.
you
Uh,
just say, "Alright, anything you want."
I'm 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 doing great. The guys basically told me my car is about to, break down and I'll die, and I should let them do whatever they want and pay whatever it costs. I
Oh,
will say I will say the guy told me he checked the Carfax, which I thought that was what, like, we did? I didn't know that's what the mechanics did, and he said that there was nothing on there for it, and he was basically, "Yeah, a bunch of these things have never been done to it," and I was like, "I've come to you guys, like, multiple times.
and if
Like,
anyone didn't put it in there, that's your fault.
why why are you guys just now saying this is something that should have been done?" Like, I've had the car for it's a 12-year-old car. I've come to you guys for 2 years now.
Hasn't
What are
had
we
an oil
doing?
change. It shows that as an oil change one time. Yeah, no, the Carfax, I always thought it was for us as consumers, but I think it's for them too. Yeah.
Show me the Carfax.
Yeah, I always get an email every time I do my car. Well, I like the business idea. If we get the following, if we get dads out there with these skills, let's do it.
Mhm.
We will hook you up with clients.
Yep. Alright, Christian, let's get into it here. You had some things you wanted to share on nursing, or as you like to call it, breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Big breastfeeding guy. Hit me. What do you got? What do I need to know? What's it been like for you?
Yeah, I'd like to title this talk here, "The Dad's Role in Breastfeeding." I feel like
Wow, catchy. That's
that's the
catchy.
the book that hasn't been written yet, you know? Uh, I I don't know what it
Some
is. All the breastfeeding books are always about the mom. What's up with that? Yeah, so I wanted to start
I
there.
lo I love that. Man, this all the breastfeeding books are for moms.
No, I just
When
not
you
that's not a real
no.
fucking ad. It is interesting now that I've gone through the beginning and am doing it now. I'm not breastfeeding, but I mean, getting involved now. I'm like, "Oh, there is hopefully a partner there." and they wanna be involved and help, and they don't I had no clue. I mean, I knew it's hard. They always talk about the moms, how hard it is, but, like, what's the father's role in supporting and stuff like that, so, yeah, I think I wanted to start out with, what it's like at the very beginning for you, Josh, when the baby comes, and I think I touched on this a little bit in a prior pod, just, like, what postpartum looks like. Um, the dad, especially if there's a cesarean involved, the dad is very involved in feeding, mainly because mom can't move and pick up baby and bend and lift, with the incision, and so even just bringing the baby to the breast is usually the dad's role, but babies struggle with latching or if mom's milk hasn't come in, there may not be enough, so then there's different techniques that you could use, and one that we used was this, like, a nipple shield, I think, or maybe it's a nipple guard, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but, you put that on mom, so you would put that on her I guess she could put it on herself, but you put it on her, and then while the you get the baby to latch to that, and while the baby's latched to it, you are inserting a syringe, like, kinda behind the guard and putting donor milk in there, so the baby is practicing latching, but is drinking the donor milk, and the reason why you do that is because mom isn't making enough milk yet, so the baby needs to feed, but you don't want the baby to, like, be so dependent on the bottle because then they may not latch, so there's, like, this tension of, like, he's gotta eat, but also we need to train him how to breastfeed. So that was super intensive, right? Like, you're super engaged and involved there. Um, and another thing you're doing, and mom could be doing this too, but, like, you're taking whatever mom pumps, you're putting in that into syringes, and you're finger feeding the baby. So finger feeding is, like, put your pinky in their mouth, and then you get the syringe to the right or the left of the pinky in the cheek, and you're, like, slowly emptying the syringe into the baby's mouth, and so that's another way where it thinks it's breastfeeding 'cause it's thinking your pinky is the nipple.
Hmm.
So, um
That'll be a long nipple.
well, you're not pinky deep, just a little bit. You're not all the way in there. Yeah, that's kinda the beginning of it, and then so you could be doing the finger feeding, you could be helping with the nipple guard, and then also there's just, um, at the beginning at least, it's encouraged for mom to pump after every feeding because that helps stimulate the breast to get the milk to start coming in, and so each feeding, which is happening every, 3 hours, so that's 8 times a day, you're, taking the milk out of the pump and then cleaning the pump stuff and then getting it ready for the next one. So, I mean, you've got all this stuff going on in like a 40-minute window where you're finger feeding, helping with breastfeeding, and then washing the pump. So yeah, that's the beginning, and it's kind of fun because that's like the main thing you're doing, and so it's like you're gonna connect to the baby that way. And then once the milk comes in, you kind of get replaced, man. It's kinda like
Mhm. Yeah.
dad dad's no longer involved in the breastfeeding. And so that's where I wanted to go with this. I wanted to say, I wish I could breastfeed.
Yikes. Yikes.
Um, because, like,
Yikes.
the baby can't talk. Okay, hear me out. The baby can't talk. He can't, like, really kick it and hang out, Not a lot of playing. We do tummy time once a day, it's fun. But, like, the main thing he does is breastfeeding, and I'm on the sidelines. Y No, you're out? You're out?
I'm out. I'm out. I don't
Tell me more.
well, for starters, uh, you're 3 weeks in here. I think you're taking a recency bias of this is the highlight right now, so you're like, "I wanna do this."
That's true, I'm also
Um,
on leave, so it's like, what do I do with my hands while he's breastfeeding? I'm just kinda sitting there. I mean, I'm doing stuff around the house, cleaning up, but I'm like, "Man, that'd be fun."
so are you, like, at this stage in the game, Angela, Lady A is breastfeeding, are you, like, going out in the backyard and, like, talking muttering to yourself, walking in circles, like, "Oh, I wish I could do that." Like, what?
No, I'm just saying, you know, I think I don't say there's a lot of pressure to connect. It's just like I want to connect. I think I wanna connect with him. more and more, and it just, that stinks. Like, it's a thing that I can't do with him, you know?
Yeah, I would say maybe this one's, leave this one for the moms. They did carry the baby for 9 months. Maybe they can add this one.
I know, but that's the other thing. They've already carried the baby for 9 months. They're already connected and close and so sweet, and then just dad over here, like, just useless.
Come on now, he probably remembers your finger. He'll tell you about that.
The scent of dad's pinky. Uh, yeah, you just wish you could be more involved, you know? So that's
I
that
think we need a I think we need to take a poll of our current dad listeners that have done this and see if anybody agrees with you or
I talked to one today, by the way. Congrats to, Big D out there. Their daughter came last week. We all hung out today, and he agreed with me. He said he actually had already said that to his wife.
wow, so maybe everyone thinks this.
Yeah, you're gonna yeah, a month from now, you're gonna be like, "Man, I hear you, man. I wish I could breastfeed."
So I think maybe we need to put a better spin on this. I feel like it's more in a way there's like I think you're missing out you feel like you're missing out on that connection. And then I think do you feel like in a way that that Lady A is able to provide in a way that you can't and you
Yeah,
want to be able to provide for the baby?
that's right. Yeah, I didn't say that. Uh, no, that's exactly
No,
right.
you just said I wanted to be able to breastfeed.
No, and I understand um the short-sightedness, and hopefully people don't think I'm insensitive. It's obviously very hard. It hurts. You could get infections or whatnot in there. Like, I understand all that. I'm just saying exactly what I'm trying to get at, exactly what you said, is there's something I simply cannot provide for this baby. Like, I cannot do that. He's hungry, and I can bounce him on my knee and play with him and sing him songs, but if he's hungry, I mean, there's
Mhm.
nothing I mean, of course, I could feed him, non-mom breast milk. We could feed him donor milk or formula, but I'm saying that's just something she can make that and I can't, and it's like, dang, I wish I could do that for him.
I don't know, it's a cool thing about, like, parents, you know? Like,
Need them both.
the mom yeah, mom's able to do that, and you're able to clip his toenails poorly, so
Yeah, exactly. All the stuff we can do, anyone in the world could do. Nothing special about us. We are willing to help. That's what we are, helping hands.
Mhm, not a helping breast.
Yep, helping hands, no helping breasts. Um, so I wanted to cover that. Then just in general, some comments I had. We had an interaction with our OBGYN or obstetrician, as we learned last week.
Obgyn?
So Lady A got small mastitis. I don't know if y'all know if you know what that word is. It's like a inflamed milk duct. We found out because
Great
what do you say?
great pronunciation.
No, thank you, thank you. Um, Lady A had a fever, and we were all like super worried. Like, is the baby sick? Is she sick? How did we get this? But no one else that was staying there was sick, and so we called our OB, and then we went in, and they had diagnosed that it was mastitis, and that we were asking about things we can do. They prescribed an antibiotic, but we asked about things we can do to help with this, and a lot of it was stuff you can, it's I think it's common knowledge, but if you don't know, it's like warm compress before, like ice pad afterwards, and then this is what she said. She said, um, "Do y'all have anything that vibrates? No judgment."
Mm,
And then I said, "Yeah, we have a breast massager," and she said, "Yeah, sure, for breastfeeding," in air quotes.
wow.
So that was pretty awesome interaction. Do you have anything that vibrates? No
Was
judgment.
that awesome? That sounds really awkward.
I mean, we all laughed, so it was good. I thought it was hilarious. Just not something I thought was gonna happen. Like,
That was bold from them.
I mean, she said no judgment. It's kinda like, in all due respect, and you get to say whatever you want
Yeah.
afterwards.
I mean, she obviously had her intentions already made up after your answer.
Yeah, no matter what I said, she didn't believe me. So, I thought that was interesting. Speaking of massaging the breast, this is just something, an observation I've noticed. We had help here, the last 2 weeks, and, pre and post pregnancy, touching your wife's breast is just totally a different thing. Like, uh, you know, she's breastfeeding, and I'm just like, or I'll massage the breast, and that would have been so weird to do like a month ago in front of my mom or my sister-in-law. You know,
Oh, it's in front of them.
they're just there. We're just TV's on. JJ's feeding, and just a quick massage to help out with the mastitis. But I can't. Isn't that unbelievable to think about a month ago? Like that would have been so weird. What's up, mom? How you doing? Um, so that's I think that's most of my breastfeeding talk. Do you have any questions? Anything you're worried about? Anything that you're like, I don't know how this is gonna work that I could answer?
Did you have any male consultants for lactation?
No.
Why are you laughing?
I we talked about that beforehand. I didn't think I'd have a male nurse, but I definitely didn't think I'd have a male lactation consultant, and we didn't. I don't know how many of those exist in the world.
That's a good question for Zach, maybe.
Yeah, I, that one feels that one feels tough to get into.
All right. How long is feeding?
Yeah, question. They can be.
I need to start hitting the books. I'm relying on you too much.
So the lactation consultant at the beginning will say like, hey, after 3 minutes, like don't do that. Basically, they don't want you to become stressful. And the baby at the beginning sleeps a ton, like at the breast, because it's like comforting. So it's kind of hard to think about how long it was then. It would be pretty long because we'd be waking him up and we'd be like, come on, wake up, buddy. And um, but now it's probably like 20 minutes each breast, which I think is long. I think he's longer than usual. I think it's like 10 to 15 usually each. Um, he's
Is that a 2-for-1 deal?
uh, are you saying each feeding you're supposed to do both breasts?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're supposed to always offer the second breast. The way the books they say it is like the first breast is an entree, and the second breast is like dessert. Like
Oh, I
um,
hate that.
so the first one is they'll probably feed on the most because they're the hungriest when they wake up, and the second one ideally they don't feed as long on, and so then you would start on the second one the next time.
Okay.
But but
So it's
but JJ goes all in on both. He's just a big boy.
so it's kinda like when you go out for Mexican and you eat 2 bowls of chips, and then your burrito gets there, and you're like, "I don't even want to bite."
Yeah, you ate too many of the chips. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Okay, so I'll have a good comparison for myself.
But yeah, I would say 15 to 20 minutes each breast is probably good. And the
Okay.
baby, and I was reading this, we'll get into what the book said, but I was reading this the other day that the feeding time gets less and less. And it's not because the baby's eating less, it's because the baby's getting better at feeding, which is interesting. Good trick. If your baby's kind of falling asleep at the breast, obviously burping can wake them up, but a diaper change, babies hate diaper changes. That wakes them up, and then he's ready to eat again. So it's kind of a lot of diapers because you change, and then he usually poops again while he's on the second breast, and then so you have to change him again. But it does wake them up to make sure they eat.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. That's breastfeeding for dads. So I want to get in some segments. Do you have anything else?
Have you tried the milk yet?
No comment.
Alright. I know what that means.
Nope. No comment.
No, I'm not saying from a source, I'm just saying in general.
No comment. I'm just
You
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
would you tell me off studio?
No comment.
No comment. I mean, I got no idea. I've got a hunch, but, I got no comment. Alright, I think that's all I got for now on breastfeeding.
All right, cool. That is Breastfeeding for Dads, the book that was never written.
Mhm.
Essentially, you're going to be super engaged, and then you're going to be as sad when you're not as engaged, and you're going to think to yourself, "I wish I could do this." But rest assured, dads, I believe there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we will connect with these kiddos more and more
I
as
mean,
time goes on.
pretty pretty soon you can be leading the way on airplane spoon. You could dominate that.
Yeah, I mean, where I can, like, that's why I'm leading by far in diaper changes and other things is because it's like anywhere I can plug in, I'm ready to go. Like, put me in, coach. Like, I'm the swaddle
Uh-huh.
guy in the house, you know? I, doing the diaper changes, bouncing them on the ball. Cause yeah, mom's doing the hard work, so I'm just trying to fill in where I can. All right, Josh, let's get into some segments. Uh, let's start off with some, Dr. Rick moments of the week. What do you got?
Yeah, I was had a great week down at the beach, off the grid, like we talked about, and there was a skimboard at the house we were staying at. My sister in law, she's 20 years old. She's athletic. Thought, hey, let's try the skimboard out. I don't know if you've ever skimboarded or
It
tried.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not good at those extreme sports. Not my forte.
I don't
Uh,
understand the payoff of skimboarding. It's like a 10-second ride.
yeah, it's way less than that actually, especially when you're not good. Because
I know. Yeah.
she was trying it for about an hour, and she was kind of like, well, and then I was like debating whether or not it was worth it, and she was like, I mean, it's really like a lot of work and risk for like 5 seconds of
Of glory.
like minimum excitement. Because when you're not good, it's not that like it's
Yeah, but
you're not
even the
going.
best skimboarders, it's like maybe a 20-second ride.
Yeah. But anyways, so she takes the skimboard out there. I think it's a skimboard for children. I mean, it was tiny, which didn't help. And so she's out there trying it. Like I said, I've never done it in my life. I think I probably tried a couple times when I was a kid, probably fell on my back and quit. Um, but I was out there sitting down by the water, got my phone, and decided to YouTube how to skimboard. Watched a couple of videos. And then I pretty much turned into like the US skimboarding Olympic coach. Was showing her the motions, coaching her through some of her mistakes. Like she kept getting on the side of the board. You're supposed to get on from the back. She was trying to jump on. You almost kind of want to run onto it. And so I'm coaching her through that. And yeah, I think I helped a little bit. But then I saw another dad doing that with their kid. And this again, this is not my kid. This is just my sister in law. Saw him doing the exact same thing while not showing how to do it or knowing how to do it, but just kinda just a classic dad knowledge, like, "Hey, I know how to do this. You could if you do it this way, you can probably do it, even though I've never done it and have no clue how to do it."
I always think about that when you see coaches on the sideline of games and you're like, "I know for a fact you never played." Like,
Mhm.
how do you know how to do this stuff if you never
Yeah, exactly.
just
Um,
you just watch some videos?
but that's what dads do. It's like, just try to speak on things that you don't know anything about. I think that's a common dad thing.
That's gonna be me if my kid plays hockey, as a couple episodes ago can attest to. Just saying stuff I don't know anything about.
I know, I'm like I guess that could be a fun thing is you get to dive into something with your kid, but, like, what if I hate it? What if I don't care?
You
Like,
will
if
care.
if my kid gets into soccer, I don't know.
Yeah, who
Like,
currently is wearing a soccer jersey.
I mean, I'm wearing a jersey, but I'm not a fan.
Of course, of course. That's a good one, yeah, just always able to give constructive coaching feedback.
Mhm.
That's a dad
Without
move.
any expertise.
That's right.
What about you? You have a Dr. Rick?
Yeah, I've got a
I
few.
don't think
I think it's my
I don't
first
think you've
time.
ever had a Dr. Rick.
Well, I'm becoming a dad because I'm a dad now,
It's
so
a
I've got a few. Um, let's start off with just something I've never done on the 4th of July, but is a dad tradition to do, and I'm glad I did it now. Watching the Nathan's dog competition.
You've never watched it?
No, I mean, I've, like, watched the highlights, and I've seen that one of Joey Chestnut, like, tackling that protester, that was sick, but I don't think I've ever sat down and watched it, but I opened a cold brew, I watched the ladies, this one lady hit 51, she would have placed 3rd in the men's competition, and
Yeah, she
then,
dominated.
yeah, and then I watched the men's, and I think that's just a total dad thing to do on the 4th of July, just watching people grotesquely eat hot dogs.
You did pick a terrible year to hop in since Joey Chestnut did not participate.
Yeah,
Pretty much
I'm aware of his
you pretty
dominance,
much watched
I just never watched, you know what I mean?
you watching, uh, the hot dog eating competition without Joey Chestnut is essentially like someone never watching the NBA and then tuning on this China and Charlotte Hornets Summer League G League team game.
Yeah,
That's
I
what you
mean,
watch.
it was fun though. I think it was from the highlights I've seen in the past, it was way more competitive this year. Like,
Oh, yeah, I mean, he dominates, but it's incredible. It's one of the greatest athletes ever, I think.
yeah, I think his dominance is unparalleled, probably.
Did you go full dad and were you like, "I could compete with these guys?"
I said I could have competed with the lower tier guys because if you look at the scores, it's like 50, 55, 56, and then 15. And you're like, what's the guy on the end even doing? Like the people at the very end of the table, how did they
Mhm,
get there? I can do better than them.
mhm.
I know it.
Yeah, 15, I think I could do that. I might throw up, but I could do it.
Yeah. So that was one. And then the next one's just come from I think part of it just being at my house for paternity leave so long and not being able to breastfeed. So there's a lot of time where I'm like, what do I do with my hands? And so I power wash the house. Huh?
Wow,
And never done that in my life. Just
that's awesome.
sitting around thinking, what can I do? The house is looking kind of old on the outside. So man,
Yeah?
my front porch is looking sweet.
Did you have any good, like did you just kinda walk outside and say, "This could use a good wash down"?
I've thought about it for a while, just kinda never had the time, and, I got this neighbor who's got a power washer, and he always tells me I can use it when I want, and I had a lot of learning to do. I started off too high on the settings, kinda chipped off some wood around the windows, but, I learned. I started in the back for a reason. I knew I'd mess up. The front looks good, though.
Okay.
Some other stuff I found, just been testing the humidity around the house. I just got this just got this just got this I got this I've got a humidity wand that I purchased, and I just because when you walk in a room and you think, it's too
Oh.
humid in here."
What is humidity how is it measured? What are the units?
Oh, I don't know. It's basically but you want it to be under
You
6
don't know? You did this.
I don't know the unit, but you want that number to be under 60, and that's
Mm,
appropriate. Obviously in the summertime, it's a humid, so I just would walk into a room and think, "Man, it's kinda humid in here. Is there gonna be some mold growth?" And, so I went to each room and each closet and every
oh my
bathroom,
gosh.
and I tested it out, and, that has led to me purchasing some closet hanging dehumidifier kinda things that
Oh
collect
my
water,
gosh.
and
This is incredible.
I've got some that go on some shelves in the bathroom now,
Oh,
and I'm currently researching bucket-free dehumidifiers for the crawl space, because you never know, and nothing's down there that I need, but I just don't want it to be too
man.
humid.
These are some of the most depressing things I've ever heard you say.
And I'm telling you, I think it's part of just being here so long at the house, you're just like
That's true. It's like during COVID when you're stuck at the house, it's like my dad just kept finding things that need to be cleaned or changed or fixed. It's like
yeah.
that's just a dad thing. Just if you see something long enough, eventually you'll find something that you think you could make better.
I'll just walk around and I'll see, like, a smudge on the wall, and you're like, "You know what? Give me the magic eraser. Let's get rid of that, and I'll
Are you
clean it up."
are you taking it with you to other places yet?
No, 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 I mean, no. I think when I
I
go
think
to other
that's
people's houses, I think they have character, but when I see things that are wrong in my house, I hate
yeah, I think that's the next level is humidifying other places, getting the measurements.
it. Just have my wand out, like, "Oh, man. Alright."
We cannot stay here, Lady A.
We're in a new room. Yeah,
Oh, that's incredible.
I know, and it's just I've already got, my next project, I think I'm gonna make a patio. I've been looking up different paving patterns for the backyard patio that I wanna make.
Yeah,
Needs to have a slight decline away from the house. I've been looking some YouTube videos up.
that's good.
Next segment, parenting you saw this week. Josh, over to you. I don't got any.
You got nothing? Wow. Yeah, I'll say this, the beach is a great place to see parenting, and I saw some things that got me excited to be a parent, especially on beach week. But then there's also, like, the sad reality that going to the beach and vacation for a long time is really not for you anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, there's there's not a lot of relaxing or you know, stress-free vacation time. But yeah, some parenting I saw.
That's like
One of the
fishing
first
with
things.
kids. You don't get a fish. You're just helping your kid get unstuck. You're getting them a new lure. You're
Hmm.
it's just you
Hmm.
don't even get to put the freaking, line in the water when you're fishing with
Yeah.
kids.
Hey, hey, Jimmy, stop throwing it towards the turtle. That's the third one you've caught.
Yeah. Exactly. It's
Don't cast over your brother's line.
that's the same thing with a beach trip. It's like as soon as you probably lay down to relax and read a book, it's the jellyfish stung your kid.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so one of the first things I saw, which never thought that I would see this and be like, "That looks awesome," and that is the tandem bicycle.
Oh, hell yeah. I want one so bad.
Oh man, I saw was one of the first things I saw on the drive-in was just a dad and this kid, young kid on the tandem bike,
I always
and
wonder, is the kid pulling their
that
weight
looks awesome.
or is it just dad doing all of it?
No, I asked the same question because I'm like, if one guy stops and the other goes, what happens? But I think it's just because you got to get like the parent kid tandem, not like the two adult tandem.
Okay.
You know, it's fun for a certain. Like I saw two like teenagers doing it. That's not cool, but father son, father daughter, that looks awesome.
Yep.
Um, so I'll definitely be getting one of those.
I want the I actually, when you started saying this, I thought you meant the one with the buggy, but you mean where you're both riding. I can't wait
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to attach a buggy to my bike.
that doesn't sound cool.
Oh, man, it's sick.
That's not as cool as like riding together.
Well, yeah, but they can't do that for a while. I mean, we got infants we're looking at, man.
That's a good point. Um,
That's like 7, 8 years away.
well, listen, I've got to get excited about all the years. All right.
Alright, alright.
You don't see a lot of infants doing much at the beach. Okay.
That's true.
Um, which brings me to my next one, which is just dads pulling kids around on the boogie board, getting them in the baby waves. That
Oh,
was
nice.
exciting to see.
Are
I
they
was obviously
crying and scared?
some kids are. It's also one thing I'm not excited about is some of these kids, man. They just sit in the water for hours, and I just gotta imagine there's like just a whole pound of sand in their bathing suit that parent's got to get out that night and every night on vacation. So I'm not excited about that, but
Did they make diapers for swimming?
I would imagine there's some waterproof ones.
Yeah, because I was thinking about poop. What happens with the poop?
Yeah. So yeah, but saw a lot of dads pulling kids in the boogie boards, dragging them in the little baby waves. That looks exciting. What are you laughing at?
Just moved on from my water diapers. Just totally turned the page.
Was there another thought? Was I supposed to ask something?
I don't know. That was kinda funny. Yeah, back to the boogie board dads.
Yeah. I mean, I got nothing for your waterproof diapers. I'm sure they got them.
Maybe it's business. 3rd business idea of the day.
Third business idea of the day. All right, Christian. Next segment. What's the books? Well, it's book set of the week for you. For me, it's fill in the blank, but I don't have anything. So what do you got?
Yeah, this one's cool. I was reading this book, Moms on Call. Don't know if you've heard of it. It's,
Wait, I think I had that book.
yeah, nice. It's like 2, pediatric nurses that
Yeah, 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 yeah.
have common kinda
Is it
need.
thin?
It's pretty thin, it's dense though. And it's really for those out there, if you're gonna buy it, it's not really a it doesn't read like a book, it's not like
Yeah,
chapters.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's kinda like,
Can we
"Oh,
read this together?
I'm reading it right now." Yeah, I'm on, Spitting Up right now.
What
But like I
page is
said,
that?
it's kinda hard to read. I always fall asleep. It's kind of a reference guide. It's almost like an encyclopedia for babies. And, been enjoying it, but one thing that was funny in there, it was about clipping your child's nails. I've already had a snafu there, but,
Hmm.
it's talking about toenails to clip them straight across instead of with the curvature of the toenail, which
I disagree.
and they okay, and they said to do that because it avoids ingrown toenails. And
All right, hold on. I might be back in.
my immediate thought was, "This would have changed my life." I have ingrown toenail, like, every time I clip my nails, I get one.
That's that's why I said I might change my mind. I've had some bad toenails for probably 10 years
Yeah, I mean,
now.
every time I clip my toenails, I get an ingrown toenail. So, I was like, "Where was this advice my entire life? I wish I would've had a kid forever ago."
Okay, so now for the other dads consulting, we have grilling, car,
Nail care.
uh, and a nail care. So some dad's been out there doing this forever. We need him.
Yeah, so that was a mom's on call, it was advice for taking care of your baby, and it blew my mind that it was gonna change my own life.
That's what they say is that parenting is what do they say? Um,
Very common
no,
thing.
it might not be parenting. It's like when you have some volunteers at like church. Like I remember that as a big thing growing up, like the youth group volunteers. They were always like, it's been a big blessing in my life. Like, I've learned so
Oh,
much
you think you're
uh,
serving them,
through these.
but they're
Yeah, yeah,
serving
yeah.
you.
Exactly. Really, people are saying that JJ is raising you.
The best the best teachers are those that can be taught, you know?
The the grasshopper becomes
The cr
the teacher.
the cricket, the butterfly? Yeah.
The pupil becomes the
Now
the mentor.
this is a totally different saying at this point. But yeah, I'm following. Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. It's a good book, yeah, like I said, check it out.
Mhm.
Yep, that's what the book said of the week for me. The most important segment of all, Josh. I've got a very, very, very serious question to ask you. Did you see the fellas this week?
Can you explain this again? You've explained it like every week.
Have I? Should I not explain it?
No, I think it'd be funny if you just kept explaining.
All right. Very important question for you, Josh. As we know, it is hard for fathers to see their friends. You've got so many duties on your hand, um, and a house to take care of. You know, you're working hard, you're doing your best, and it's not always easy to see your friends. So, Josh,
You've got you've got humidity to measure.
yeah, you've got a house to power wash. So question for you, Josh: did you see the fellas this week?
Yeah, I'm banking a lot of seeing the fellas hours because yeah, I saw the fellas again this week.
Nice.
Um, take a guess at what I was doing with the fellas.
I'm thinking you guys went out for a little swim.
I don't know where we're going with this.
That's what you and the fellas did. A quick swim with the fellas.
Quick dip in the pool.
Maybe you guys went and saw a movie. Some popcorn.
Yeah, hands in the bucket.
Yep. One bucket for the fellas. You all shared. It's a good moment.
Yeah, no, I went golfing.
Oh, what?
Uh,
You guys went golfing?
I golfed with Papa Fella,
Pop fella.
Uncle Fella, and friend of Papa Fella. So got to see the fellas out on the links.
Friend of a fella. Fella of a fella.
I like that.
Yeah. Nice. It's a good time.
What about you, Christian? Did you see the fellas this week?
No. All right, that's it for the Other Dads podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe, follow us on X, share with your friends. Some dads help with breastfeeding. Some dads want to breastfeed. No dad is perfect.
Thanks for being the other dads. Peace.
Finger guns.
Game 6 at TOD Pick'em goes to myself. I'm going to stop saying Josh, stop saying in third person. This is me. And I won again. Charlotte Hornets, G League Summer League tryout team defeats the Chinese national team 93-62. I am now up 4-2 against Christian. Hey, we should do, like, some mustache talk, I think.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what the talk is.
Yeah, hey, sweet mustache.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, so was Poku, and he just got cut by the Hornets, so I don't know if that means you're good. A lot of people out there definitely know who Poku is.
A lot of people were waiting to hear Poku's name come up.
Poku made a Other Dad's podcast appearance. That's pretty rare.
Is he a dad? We should get him on.
I don't know.
There might be a language
You
there might
think
be a
someone
language
would,
barrier.
have a kid with that guy? No offense, Poku, if you're listening.
God, poor guy. I mean, worse guys if
If
there's
you're
some
out
deadbeats
there,
out there. If you're a
sear
deadbeat.
search Pokachevsky, Oklahoma City Thunder, and you'll know what I mean. Not a
With all
looker.
due res
Not a
with
looker.
all due respect.
Oh, China storming back, down 11. All right.
I was trying to think of a China pun.
We can avoid no, it's not. Let's just not do that.
This defense has been a big wall out there.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think
That's
that
not too bad.
plays.
Yeah, that's fine.